Welcome back to Action 2 News at 5:30. The Green Bay Botanical Garden invited some special guests to walk the trails today. It's all part of Dog Day, allowing people and their dogs to enjoy the scenic gardens, natural areas, and pathways to do a little exploring. Despite the rain, those who went seemed to enjoy the atmosphere. One person we spoke with just could not pass up the opportunity.
And I think there's a lot of dog people, and if we can get the dog people supportive of the Botanical Garden, that's just more people supportive of the Botanical Garden. So I'm all about that.
If you were not able to make it out today, there's still another chance to bring your dog out next Sunday. People are encouraged to buy tickets and fill out their waiver online ahead of time. We also have that information on our website, wbay.com/links.